Okay, we are recording. Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm so excited this morning to share my friend Ellen Ford with y'all. She's a hoot. We have much in here today. And I need some glasses so I can look more like you. But anyway, I can't wait to hear. She's got slides, y'all. She's ready to go. So we are going to hear all her words of encouragement and how to overcome fear and how to reach out. And I know that even as if you're a brand new ambassador or if you're a seasoned diamond, this is something that you could take a nugget away from and run with it. We have so much coming up here in the next couple of months with our company. And so I think if we can all take this to heart and use it for our businesses, that we will see a big turnaround. So with that, I am going to introduce Miss Ellen Ford, Diamond Ambassador that lives in Dallas.
Hey y'all, my name is Ellen Ford. I'm a Diamond Senior Gold Ambassador, and thank you, Alicia and Ariel, for having me on. I love sharing. I love just kind of telling people it's just simple. What we do is simple. That actually putting it into process is the hard part, and staying consistent. So when I was an up and comer and I was trying to work this business while working full time, I listened to every call I could get my hands on, and that was not stop what I'm doing and listen to a call. That was put earphones in, continue what I was doing with, work or shuffling kids, whatever, because I crave that knowledge to figure out how are these people doing this? How are people going to the top of the company? If I see someone successful, I want to know what they're doing. So that's kind of where my heart comes from, is like, I want to get out as much information as I can that has helped me, so that other people can kind of glean from that. But I'll tell you a little bit about myself before I jump into the slides. I know I appear super organized, but I'm not really. So you're like, oh, I have slides, but I'm not that organized. I kind of reuse these and tweak them and all that good stuff. But I have been doing Plexus for a little bit over 5 years. Prior to Plexus, I worked in corporate America, was a paralegal for 17 years, married to a pastor on staff at our church. And they are now 12-and-a-half-year-old twins, Jake and Emma. Before Plexus, I was a crazy busy mom, running from working full time to dropping my kids off and, that whole thing. Just pretty much exhausted all the time. And I never, people who are in the grind have no idea there's anything different out there, because that's just what we do. We're part of the machine, and we just do our part and we go, and we don't know there's anything else out there. And, I was at probably the most successful job I've ever had as a paralegal at a very prestigious firm. And it's the job you always thought you wanted a long time ago. And then I got there and it was unfulfilling, because deep down in my heart, I wanted to stay home with my kids. Always wanted that. But I never verbalized that because I was afraid. I saw the numbers. I saw the budget. I saw the spreadsheet. Numbers weren't there. And my husband was a big Dave Ramsey fan. I'm not a Dave Ramsey fan. I know his stuff works, but he makes me mad because you have to do hard stuff. My husband loves him. And so I never really verbalized to my husband I wanted to stay home with the kids, because I knew the answer would be no, because we cannot afford it, bottom line. So one day at work, I remember looking out the window of my cube thinking, okay, God, is this it for me? Is this all there is that I have to look forward to? Is working at this job, sitting in this cube, and man, I can't do it if this is it. And I was just so depressed. And then as time went on, I remember my friend Andrea Mitchell. Some of you may know her. I had met her in Sunday school, and I really honestly did not know Andrea very well, but I followed her on social media. I knew her from church, and she started all of a sudden posting about Plexus out of the blue, and I went through all the different emotions of so annoying. She's been hacked. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Why is she doing that? She stays at home. Why should, that whole thing. And then New Year's Eve of 2013, she posted, I told her, I'm like, I think you posted like 30 times today, because all I ever saw was your stuff about Plexus. So I reached out to her because, New Year's Eve, that's when everybody presses the reset button. So I said, okay, girl, what's this stuff you're selling? Is it magic? What is it? And she told me, and y'all, I don't even remember what she said. All I remember is she said it worked for her, and that's all I needed. She's my friend, and I trusted her. So I'm like, well, your husband's a deacon at our church, so it's got to be fine. So I joined as a result of just our relationship, and swore I would never tell anybody, sell it. I was like, I have a job. I was kind of prideful. And then the products came in. We did Triplex. We started loving them. And one thing led to another, and I posted on social media, and it just exploded from there. Like I said, I got on every call. I craved the knowledge that all these successful people were sharing, and I did whatever they told me to do. That's what I did. If someone was successful and they're like, here's how I did it, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing it just what they did. If it was hard, I'm doing just what they did because they know how to do it and they were successful. So I ended up going Emerald in 11 months while I'm working full time. And 4 months later, I went Sapphire. And when I hit Sapphire, I retired from my job. And y'all, I thought my boss was going to fall out of his chair. I mean, it's worth everything just to see his face when I resigned. Because y'all, I didn't have a very nice boss. He was horrible. So, I mean, I was just like, man, I wish I videoed that. And, but anyway, that was probably the proudest moment I've ever had in 5 years, is being able to retire from my job and finally be able to stay home with my kids and be debt free. So after I resigned, 2 months later, I ended up going diamond with the company, and I actually went to Disney World. I mean, I don't know if there's anything better than, number one, being at Disney, which we'd never been able to afford prior to Plexus, and then number two, hitting the top of the company while you're at Disney World. So that was pretty impactful for me. Cool thing about Plexus is they let you re-enter the company and sign yourself up as your own ambassador. So on my second position with Plexus, I am a senior gold ambassador. So love what I do. I love just giving people the hope that they desire and they think that's just not out there with their current situation. So part of that is, the reason why I think I'm so successful is because I overcame fear, and I just started reaching out to people, reaching out to my friends and following up. So that's kind of what my training is going to be on today, is a lot of on reaching out. I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to give you some examples of follow-up, and then we're going to touch on overcoming fear, because I don't like to give fear even too much of my attention, because I don't like it and I don't think it's real. So we're going to just touch on it, because fear is from Satan, and I'm not going to give him much time. So when we're reaching out, people get like sweaty palms and get super nervous about reaching out to people about Plexus, because we're afraid of what they're going to think, or afraid they're going to come back with some nasty, mean response. So here's a little homework to do. And for all the people that love to screenshot and take notes, this is for you. Before you reach out, this is what these are the checks I go through in my mind. Before I reach out to somebody, and let's say you made your list of people, and you're like, okay, I'm going to reach out to Alicia. Well, I need to go, okay, how do I know her? How can I start? If I haven't talked to her in a while, how do I start a conversation? What do we have in common that I could talk to her about? Am I reaching out to her about the products or the business? Why do I think she would need the products or need the business? And why do you think they'd be good at it? The worst thing you can do is blindly reach out to people on your list. I think sometimes we get in this, this mind state where we just go and we're reaching out to, reach out to 10 people today. and we just like reach out to them. We have no idea what's going on in their world, which is a shame, because it comes off when you receive a message after, and I say this because I've made this mistake. When you don't go check out to see what is going on with that person currently, and you just reach out about Plexus when their grandmother could have passed away over the weekend, or maybe they had a Mother's Day and they're really struggling with the fact they lost their mother, or they've always desired to be a mother, and then the next day you're reaching out to them about Plexus. It comes off as very salesy. But when you know what's going on in their world, you connect with them outside of Plexus, not necessarily like I'm going to reach out to 50 people today. Do your homework and go through these checks in your head. And I'm going to refer back to these a couple of times during our talk today. But so that's kind of what I do. I run those through my head before reaching out to somebody. So I'm going to give you 3 examples of different messages I send when I'm reaching out to certain types of people. The first one is for close friends and family that I haven't reached out to yet. For me, I have mom, dad on my side, mom, dad on my husband's side, and then aunt and uncle. That's about it. I don't have an extensive family with a bunch of sisters and brothers and that type of thing. So most of mine are going to be close friends. But this is just an example. Hey, Lori, I hope you're doing well and have been enjoying life with those kids. Are you excited? School's almost out. I know I am. May is nuts. Okay, so I know I've never mentioned it to you before, but I want to holler at you about Plexus. I'd love for you to check out a little bit of what and why I'm always sharing. Check out this super short video and let me know what products you think might help you or someone you love. And this is going back to those fantastic videos that corporate launched to us. They're in your virtual office. You have access to them right now. And they've done the work for you. They've broken down the products in 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and you don't have to do it. So I like to send this message, and some people, they like to ask like, hey, would you mind checking out this video? Or would you be willing to check out this video? However you want to do it. I'm more of, girl, I need to get you this information now. So here you go. Check it out. What products do you think would help you? So that's kind of for close friends and family. You can talk. For me, I like to talk a little bit more informal, because an informal message to me always is a little bit more personal and not salesy, versus let me send you 10 paragraphs of why I love Plexus and my testimony, and check out this link and that link. I like to be super personal and to the point. Next is people who need, the message I send for people who need extra income. Y'all, this is everybody. I don't know anybody out there that's like, dude, I can't take any more money in my wallet. I can't. You got to stop. There's not anybody out there that says that. So this is an example of, people I know, friends of mine who know, maybe they've said something to me about it, or maybe I know, hey, they just got divorced and she's having to go back to work and she's got 3 kids. That's where my mindset is. But it's like, hey, Michelle, great to see you last weekend. Listen, I keep thinking about what you said about having to get a full-time or part-time job to help boost your income, and I cannot help but want to share with you a little bit about Plexus, especially since it's been an incredible financial blessing for us. Check out this super short video and let me know if this is something you want to hear more about. This is when I send, there's 2 sets of ambassador stories. These are like little snippets of testimonials. There's one that I call like the more seasoned mom video. It's more middle-aged women, probably my age. And then there's one for like a little bit younger audience. So depending on who you're reaching out to, I would send that certain video. Those are all in your virtual office, so you have access to them. There's also in the back office an opportunity overview of, kind of what Plexus is, a little bit about the opportunity. But I love these personal stories so much more because people can grab onto them and self-identify with someone in that video. For me, the video or YouTube that I attached to when I first started working Plexus that probably drove me to going as far as I have is Jen Hawkins' Diamond documentary, because she was in the exact same place I was. She worked in corporate America, had 2 kids, could not afford to stay home, struggled with mom guilt. That was me. So that particular story touched my heart. That's what I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it. So look at your audience, go back to those questions and go, okay, how do I know this person? What's going on with them? Are they a mom who is struggling to make the ends meet, working 2 jobs? Okay, I need to go through here and find out which of these ambassador stories would be the best. Look through those Diamond documentaries, guys, like Jill Renfro's a teacher. Hers just launched this week for last week for Teacher Appreciation Week. Send that to all your teacher friends. If there's something specific, if you don't want to send them one that the ambassador stories, send them a Diamond doc, so that they can go, oh, that person's just like me. I know when I was first starting out, I was just wasting time, but I would sit for hours and watch every Diamond documentary. I was fascinated by my whole thing. What are they doing? How are they doing this? Oh my goodness. And I would just get so inspired by those. Because I was one of those people who needed to make extra income. And lastly, on reaching out, current customers who are loving the products. Maybe you have a ton of customers, but not really anybody who is working the business from an ambassador standpoint. And current customers, I think, is a broad statement, because if you have people on your team who have joined as ambassadors, but they are not working the business, they are just taking the products, they're customers, they're wholesale customers. I think sometimes with that ambassador, our expectations are really, really high when we've set them up a lot of times from what we say to be a customer at wholesale. So they're not currently doing anything. They're just loving the products. So this is something I'd say to, this is one of my current customers. Hey, Erica, I want to thank you for trusting me and being such a great customer. I'm so glad that you're loving your triplex and Metaburn as much as I do. I know we chatted before and you said you were not interested in sharing Plexus, but after corporate released this new bonus program this month, I had to holler back at you. I would love to help you fully pay for your products, plus get the wholesale pricing. This is for a current customer. Would you be willing to check out this quick video of my friends who fell in love with the products? Because that's the angle I'm coming at is, okay, these people fell in love with the products. Now look what they're able to do, because they fell in love with the products with no intention of selling, and now they're at the top of the company. So that's kind of what I do for my current customers, and I'm gonna break down a little bit more. If you have customers and you want them to sell, the kind of follow-up process you're going to have to do, I'm going to have to do, in order to get them ready to work the business. A lot of people stop at when they reach out and get someone on their team, then they check out and they stop, and their team momentum stops. Guys, this is a process that continues on. And so we can't just stop at this reaching out point. We have to continue following up. So I got a couple of slides, and then we can do questions if you want. These are some scripts for customer care. If you have people on your team who are wholesale customers, or if you have people who are preferred or retail customers, these are scripts you should use with them from the get-go. So when they order their products, I like to go, hey girl, let me know when your products come in so I can get you started. And because a lot of times Plexus shipping is so fast that they join or they order, and then days go by, the weekend hits, and then all of a sudden they've had their products for 3 or 4 days. And I realize, oh, I need to check in with them. And they've already gotten their products, started the products how they think, or, just because it says hey, you need to do these products this way on the bag or on the back of the bottle, doesn't necessarily mean that's the best way for them or their body. So after about 3 days on the products for a new customer or new ambassador, I want to check in with them, say, hey, I want to see how you're doing. I know it's early to notice any differences, but want to make sure you aren't having any issues or struggling with any detox. If so, let me know and we'll tweak the dosages and work your schedule around. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to mention detox because that's negative. Detox is a part of getting your body healthy again. If you have been eating horrible food and drinking all kind of junk and sugar and all that kind of stuff, detox is going to be a part of your journey. I mean, it just is. And for some people, it's really, really bad. For other people, they don't even notice. So we just need to check in with them, let them know. This is another point where we're here to help them. We are here to be there. You know, Plexus is a tool to help them, but we're also there to help encourage, hold them accountable, help them with their consistency, and let them know, like, hey, I'm not in this to just close a sale or close an ambassador or win a water bottle or whatever it is. I'm here to help you. I really want to help you with your schedule. So that's about after 3 days, get them started where they know exactly what they're supposed to do. Then the following week, I'm going to reach back out to them. Hey, how are things going? Have you been able to find a good routine that works best for you so you can be consistent? I know that can be tricky at first, but if you aren't used to especially if you aren't used to taking supplements, are you noticing or having any detox issues we need to work through? That allows them to it opens up dialogue for them to go, yeah, my stomach is kind of messed up. Okay, well, let's see, you can ask them, like, what did your eating look like? Are you having headaches? And you can still work through that detox. A lot of times I'm finding that on like that second week, if they're doing it consistent, they're starting to even out a little bit. There are the occasional people that do experience detox longer than just the first couple of days of their products. So week 3, that following week, checking back in with them, letting them know. And I'm trying to set those expectations. And I've seen people like this on my team who they preach weight loss. That's all they talk about is weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. And then when the person doesn't understand detox and that your body, medications you take, your diet, things that you do, autoimmune issues can change the way and the timing of your journey. So we need to set those expectations like, hey, make sure you're noting small differences and victories that you're having, because this is a process. This is not a get skinny quick, fix it. We're turning the tide on our gut. We're turning the tide on our health. So this is a gradual process. And with anything, if you do something gradually, it's going to be really, really good in the end versus, I lost 30 pounds in 1 month. Okay, that's great. I hope you keep that off, because that would be something super drastic. We're turning the tides on our health to get it where it needs to be so people can lose weight. People can get off medications. People can no longer have migraines, IBS, and so many other things. So still check in with them. Now, and then that final week, celebrate with them like, hey, you're almost a month in. It's still finding that routine, that sweet spot, and then letting them know like month 2 and 3 is going to be your jam, because you're going to start seeing bigger changes. And you're going to start feeling great. And usually by this time, I'm finding that people already, if they're consistent, they're already feeling great. They're already losing weight if that's something that they want to do. They're already seeing those changes. But for the less consistent people, and this is kind of my point of sharing all this, people, it's like every time. And I'm sure you guys have felt this. When you reach out to someone, you get them started on the products, they're consistent like 2 days, and then the next week they're like, girl, this stuff didn't work for me. This isn't working. I'm not losing weight. I feel the same. I'm not this. But they're not consistent on the products. They stop taking them on day 2. Of course they don't work. I want to go, of course they don't work. I had a girl I just talked to last week, and she was all excited about the products. She started taking them, and then she called me up and she goes, girl, this stuff don't work. And I said, really? What is going on? Because I don't want to dismiss their feelings. Because as soon as we're like, what are you talking about? That never happens. Y'all, don't ever say this. I've done it before and it doesn't work. Oh, I've never heard that. Oh, I've never heard those symptoms. And kind of we're dismissing their personal experience. We need to go, oh my gosh, what is going on? Tell me what's happening. And they're like, girl, this doesn't work. I'm not losing weight. I actually gained weight. I feel bloated. I was like, oh, well, I mean, how are your products going? Are you able to be consistent with them? Well, I was like the first 2 days, and then I went somewhere this weekend. I forgot my pink drink. And then you're like, okay, you're answering your own questions. You have not been consistent on the products. That's your reason why all these things are happening. It's not plexus, but I don't say that. I'm like, okay, girl, let's get you. You've got to be consistent on the products. And that girl, she's a friend of mine. I said, let me stop you right there. Her name's Holly. I said, Holly, of course they don't work if you don't take them. Just like with anything. And she was like, I know. I'm not good with consistency. I said, okay, do you want me to, an offer to go, do you want me to text you every day at noon to remind you to take your products? And she goes, yeah, I want you to do that. And so I don't mind doing that. This is what I do for a job. So if someone needs an amped up program for accountability, I can do that. I mean, if you're at a place where you can't do that, set a reminder on your phone. I mean, everybody has time to send a quick text that takes you about 5 seconds to send. So whatever they need, continue following up with them. Because guys, if we get people started well on the products and they love them, they are more apt to share. The percentage of them wanting to share. Because guys, if you lose a bunch of weight, no longer have minds, you get on vacations, you feel free from anxiety, we're going to share that and preach it from the mountaintops because we feel so much better. That's what we want people to do. That's why Alicia and Ariel and I, that's why we do what we do. We love how we feel. We want to give that hope to other people. But someone got us started well. We have got to reach out to those people. We have got to follow up with them, and we've got to continue supporting them throughout their journey. All right, now, lastly, let's talk a little bit about overcoming fear. One of the things I think helped me when I started was, dude, I was afraid to reach out to people. I was very afraid because I didn't know what they were going to think of me. Never done network marketing, never sold anything, never promoted anything on social media. And then all of a sudden, what are people going to think of me? I'm a pastor's wife. Man, I just don't know. But you know what? I knew one thing. If I didn't change anything, if I didn't go for it, I'd still be sitting in that cube, missing out on all my kids' stuff. I would not be able to put my kids in private school. I would not be able to do so many things. We would not have been able to move to a bigger house. We would not be able to be debt-free. We would not be able to do so many things because I would be just in bondage from fear. And y'all, fear is, we're afraid of a negative outcome of an event that's not even happened yet. It's all created in our head. I love this quote. It says, we generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. Fear is nature's way of warning us to get busy. So the more we sit and we don't reach out, the more fear we're going to have. If you sit and go, I would post on social media, but I'm just afraid. Most people won't tell you they're afraid. They'll tell you they're too busy. Most people won't tell you, like, most people go, oh yeah, I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out to all these people and my business isn't growing. They're not reaching out, because if they're reaching out, people will be joining their team. People will be ordering from them. Guys, they're afraid. And it's not real. Fear is not real. It's something we create in our head. And I can think of things and worry. I think worry and fear are cousins. I can worry about everything and then get twisted up in my head and unwound because Satan's having a field day in my head. Satan doesn't want us to be successful with this business and give people hope. He wants us to stay where we are, never better ourselves, never better our position, and stay where we are. That's not good enough for me. So action will kill fear. It will do it. I think about like this, and this, I'll end on this. When you're constantly reaching out to people, new people every day, following up, all that kind of stuff, you don't have tons and tons of fear because you're in action and you've got something on your mind and you're doing things. When you kind of sit back, maybe you have a strong month, you're like, dude, I earned that iPad. And then the next month you kick back and didn't reach out to anybody because you're kind of basking in the, I won my iPad. You didn't reach out to anybody. Then what? April comes, May comes, and you're like, I need to reach out. We get nervous about it again because we haven't been doing it. So we're like, oh man, what do I say? What is she gonna? Oh. We kind of just, our heads tormented again. But that's when we need to go, okay, where's my list? Let me go back to those questions and ask. That's how I'm going to reach out. We kind of reset, but we can't sit idle because fear will have a field day in our head. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. If you guys have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer those, or I can hop off and y'all can go on with your call.
Hey, will you take the screen share off real quick, and then and we can see everybody better, and then we can have our little chat, our Brady Bunch. I like to see everybody.
Brady Bunch. That's true.
Isn't it like Brady Bunch? The Brady Bunch thing. So, I took like 4 pages of notes because I love, like you. I remember when I was first growing and when I first started with the business, and I knew nothing about. I didn't even know this was a health company. Like I didn't even know what was this about. I watched every video and learned and learned and learned and learned. And everything I watched and learned, I just grew to love the business so much more. And like you, I was like, okay, who's successful? Who can I follow? And I don't know about y'all, but another thing that I like to do is on those our newsletters. What are they called? The
Scoop?
The Scoop. The Scoop. Okay, the Scoop comes out with a list of the top people that are business building bonuses and who added the most customers and who added the most investors, right? So those are people that are good to follow, not necessarily friend, but to see, okay, what did they do to end up in the Scoop? What did they do differently? How did their posts look different than mine, right? Because we want to learn from people who are successful. And I love that when you talked about fear, about how when we have this apple and we're trying to get it and we work really hard for our apple, or literally our iPad, our Apple iPad. So we're working hard for that, and then we win it and we're like, oh, okay, that was hard work. I got to sit back for a minute. But then when it's time to start working again, you're like, oh no, what do I say? How do I do that? I totally forgot how to work this business when you sit back for a minute. And so you have that fear and you question yourself, can I do it? Can I get a new ambassador without having an apple dangling in front of me? You can, because at the end of the day, the prize is there. It's for all of us. It's the financial freedom. It's like Ellen said, it's like going in and telling your boss, see ya. I bet that was so much fun. I could just see you. I bet you had it all planned out too. I bet it was like this whole dramatic scene. I wish I would have, that would probably have been fun to watch. But does anybody have any questions? You can even unmute if you have a question that you want to ask Miss Ellen before she hops off. Lots of people have the fear aspect, and that's totally normal especially when you're new and you don't know a lot and you're trying to learn. And I just remember thinking, if I can just learn a tiny little 1-sentence thing about all of our products, I don't have to know every ingredient. I don't have to know everything there is to know about everything. I just need to learn one little thing. I also learned that we had 11 ways we get paid for our comp plan. I didn't need to learn exactly how it all worked. I just needed to know, oh my goodness, there's a lot of ways we get paid in this company, right? Just little things to share with your friends. You don't have to know everything. I'm still learning, 6 years in, I'm still learning. So
Alicia, can you hear me?
yes.
Hey, it's Paige.
Hi.
Hey, I have a quick question. I've got sort of a small team, maybe 14. How often do I haven't had like a meeting with them, but I have my team page. I got a call. Hold on. Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I guess question is, I have a team. I feel like I don't have a routine set up with them. I'm posting things on my team page, but and I'm doing a real quick live or something to encourage them. But as far as just really putting a step-by-step, let's go. Let's start posting. I don't have anyone that is working their business or that is really motivated to start a business. So I guess a general thing would be, where do I start? Where do I start? Baby steps with just really seeing who I can get to join me. You know what I'm saying?
Is that for me? I'm guessing.
Any of you. Yeah. Hey there.
Hey. I would say a couple of things. You said you've never had a team call yet. I would plan one. If you think everybody on your team right now are wholesale customers for the products, I would do a call about the products.
Okay.
Because, you're going to not feel successful if you do something about the business and no one gets on, because they're all in that mindset of wholesale customer right now.
Right.
So I would, a couple of things. When Facebook changed the algorithms this last time, and I don't know how long you've been doing Plexus, but they kind of changed where team page engagement went to an all-time low. And I was like, I'm doing the same stuff as I was doing, but the same 3 people are commenting.
I know.
So I thought, all right. Most of us, we have so many more wholesale customers than we do people who work the business. So I'm like, I'm going to hit them right where they want it. I'm giving them every good a different product testimonial every single day. And I'm going to mix in a business one, maybe every other day. And then I slowly got the engagement back up because I wanted to draw those people out who right now they think they're only wholesale customers, and I'm going to start building belief with them. And I think that's what you need to do with your team is go product focus right now. That's one thing. The other thing is you got to get to reaching out and looking for business builders who want to do the business with you. So that's what I would recommend.
Product, and then you said product, and then what was the other one?
Using like what we talked about, the reaching out, those messages to go and look for friends of yours that you want to come alongside you and do Plexus the business with you.
Okay.
Because you've got a team full of wholesalers, there's more work involved to get them ready to go post. Going out and going, hey girl, I'm gonna call you up because you're my best friend. I want you to do this with me because it's fun. You can go silver. I'll help you. 3 people. Come on, let's do it. Versus trying to get someone who never engages on a post. There's a lot more, in my opinion, work that you got to put in there.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It might even help too to do like a message chat with people who you think might be interested in doing some of the challenges and things like that with you instead of in your Facebook group, because just like Ellen said, people aren't seeing posts in our groups.
No, they're not.
They're just not seeing them. Even if they have notifications on, I have some groups, I have notifications on, and I'm still not seeing some of the posts.
Right.
And so, but a message chat always comes up. It always pops up. They're going to see that maybe to get them just say, hey, how are y'all doing today? And find a group of people that are like-minded and maybe put them in a chat together. Hey, I thought we could encourage each other with our Plexus products and business and see how we're doing in here. And just do it like little one, maybe 5 at a time or something, just small little groups.
Is that like a little scheduled chat, or is that a text, like a typed in chat?
Just on Messenger, on Facebook Messenger. It's just easy to make a group on Facebook. And I don't know if you've seen the update, but now if you look on Facebook, with the new update with Facebook, it'll actually show you your groups under your messages. So like it's easy. So like I was looking for the one with me, Ellen, and Ariel a while ago, and I was like, I would put in Ellen, but then the Ariel part wouldn't come up. And I'm like, okay, where's that chat that we did? Because between now and the last time we talked, I've done a ton of, messages, right? So I was able to click on the groups under Messenger, and there was all my group, more than one person under groups under Messenger. I know it's crazy, but I just found that today. So
good.
I could try that too.
That sounds like it'll help.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Does anybody else have any questions for Ellen?
I see some in the chat about what's your favorite go-to book for self-help. That's a little broad. Like in the business, I'm not a huge bookworm. I have read some leadership books. Millionaire by Halftime is probably one of my favorites because it's by, Presley Swaggerty, just because I love that type of mentality of I'm just going to go do it. Let's see. I've read several books. I'll start like 3 books and then never finish them. So I don't know if I'm the best person to recommend a book. Do you read books, Alicia?
I have to say, I'm like, oh yay, somebody like me, because I'm not a book finisher. I'm a book collector. I've got every book there is on leadership. I've got Charles sent me some books. I've got, which I haven't even opened. Like he even sent me the one that goes in the car,
audiobook.
Yeah.
Audiobook.
And then which I'm like, okay, I should probably do this. And then I've got, just the regular ones, the GoPro from back when we first started that we loved, the Rocking Your Network Marketing Business, and Millionaire by Halftime, the Flip Flop CEO. I've got all those, and I've read some of all of those. And then I've got all the, we've got them, and I will reference them, but I am not a good, hey, this book changed my life, girl, because that's just not me. I don't have that attention.
Well, and I think also at this point, if you are working toward going Emerald and you're working like you're Silver Gold, Senior Gold, Ruby, this is my opinion, so it's not across the board. You ain't got time to be reading no books, okay? You need to work your business. That is my personal opinion. Action is going to add to your team. Action is going to get people silver. Action. 20 minutes a day, yes, absolutely. That's what I do, some kind of personal development every day, whether it be a book. I try to do a chapter or listen to something or jump on a call or do a training. But spending hours and hours reading books, that's not me. Some people, like, I know there are leaders in our company that can read a book in an afternoon. I'm like, it would take me like a week to read the same book they read in the afternoon. But I really think if you have a commute in the car for your job or you got somewhere to go, plug in something so that you've always got something going on in your head. But I'm telling you, getting busy and doing action is where it's at.
I love podcasts too. Podcasts are good because you can do them in the car. You can put it on media on your car settings or whatever and listen to a podcast instead of the radio. And I will do that a lot. I like the Bob Heilig and the Preston Pugmire ones. I like those a lot. And I will still go to my go-to diamonds and watch and listen to videos that they've put on YouTube, just to hear different things. So podcasts I think are easy. I can do the dishes, I can drive, and I don't have to read. And I don't have to put on I don't have to wear my reader glasses either when I listen to
Put it in my head. Don't make me read it. Yeah.
So
Thank you, because I'm not a reader either. And so I have a hard time completing books like y'all. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you do not have to be a bookworm to reach the top of the company, that's for sure. But you do have
Thank you, God.
Yeah, you do have to have some drive and consistency and some determination, though, right? And get over fear and step out and do something different each day. If what you've been doing hasn't been working, then you need to make a change, right? You make a plan, you work the plan. If the plan doesn't work, you change the plan. We've talked about that a lot. And so, if one thing, that's the same thing with our products, right? You taking some products one way, it's not working for you, you change things up. You don't just keep doing the same thing and expect different results, right? So, but thank you so much, Ellen. I loved having you. We'll see you in, a month.
Yeah. Convention, baby.
Convention. Who's selling? Raise your hand if I can see some hands on here. Who's going to be there? Excited. Tomorrow's the last day to register, right?
I think so. Y'all better get registered.
We better get registered. Okay.
I was and had to resend it. Unfortunately, I have a deposition to do on the Tuesday.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ellen. We love you.
Thank you. Love y'all. Talk to you later.
Have a good day.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ellen.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, those of you that are still here, let's talk about just some things that are coming up with that we don't want to miss out on. Like we just mentioned, tomorrow's last day to register for convention. If you have anybody on your team even thinking about it, encourage them to go. I've been told numerous times this is the best convention yet. We're back at the MGM Grand, which means there's not a bad seat. They are definitely equipped to have 12,000 or however many people we're going to have this year over Florida. So, and we can all be super close because everything is right there. You don't have to stay at the MGM. You can find a hotel that's closer, that's maybe less expensive. You can, bunk up with some friends. I know there's still some people that are looking for some roommates there's a Facebook Plexus convention group. It's just run by ambassadors. It's not run by corporate. So there's all kinds of ambassadors in there that are looking for roommates and different things. And some of them have hotels, reservations that they can give up out of sold out hotels. So you might want to look into that too. And my husband's coming because he's going to come with me to the gala, and then he's going to probably come back home. He's probably only going to go for 2 days. And so, even if you have to just go for part of the time, I remember when my oldest daughter was a senior and the convention time was right at senior week. And I was like, I cannot miss the senior, I don't remember what they called it, but it was at church. It was on a Wednesday. It's like right in the middle of our convention. And so I literally went for a day and a half of convention and then I left, but I did not want to miss any of it. So even if you can't go for the whole thing, I encourage you to go for some of it because you will be, it will be so worth it. I have never had anybody tell me, gosh, I wish I didn't go to convention. I wish I just did not go to the convention. But I have had, over the last 6 years, I've had a ton of people tell me, oh, I wish I had gone to convention. I wish I have FOMO. I have fear of missing out. I wish I had made the decision and I wish I'd gotten in before it sold out. I wish I had gotten in before the deadline. I wish I had gone to convention because I feel like I'm missing out. I hear that all the time. Okay, so it will be worth it. It is a tax right off your plane, your hotel, your food, your coffee, whatever you buy there is a tax right off for your business, y'all. It's definitely worth it. Okay, I see some chats popping up here. Oh, Janelle has a room at the MGM. If anybody's interested, make sure you post that in that group. I love the training ambassador community too. I got the gala and I can't go. Oh no. That is very sad, Angela. I'm so sorry. That is amazing. I remember one time at the gala, we had Michael Bolton. They surprised us with Michael Bolton at the gala. Another time we had Kenny G. Do you know that he never breathes? He can play his instruments and breathe in and breathe out at the same time. It's freaky. And he's the size of a 10-year-old. He's this tall. I mean, I'm shorty. Y'all know I'm shorty. And he's here and this big around. But anyway, amazing set of lungs. I think he's just a walking set of lungs because he can just hold that air. Anyway, that was amazing. So I don't know who they're going to have for our entertainment for the gala, but I'm excited to see. Anyway, tonight is, let's see, where did I write my notes for tonight? Okay, tonight is a product call. Okay, tonight's product from corporate. We have a product call tonight, and it's on the gut and the brain connection. So you definitely want to get on that. We have scientists that are on there. If you have anybody like, Debbie Downer or Doubter about our products, make sure that they're on there as well. Tomorrow is, no. Yeah, that's tonight. Tomorrow is a welcome to Plexus call, and then the next day is a silver success call. You'll find all of these in the pack, so make sure that you're in there, the Plexus Ambassador community page. Y'all, if you have any ambassadors on your team, whether they are just wholesale ambassadors or they are business builders, make sure they are in that group, because that group is directly from corporate. And I would tell them, hey, not only do they do trainings in here, but they do a lot of product testimonies and just general good information about the company. And so you want to make sure that all your ambassadors in there. Now you can add them, but to get into the group, they have to have their ambassador ID number. It will ask them before they're allowed to be in the group, what is their ambassador ID number? And I just found out, y'all, there is one also for Australia. We have a new Australian on our team, and there is a Plexus Ambassador community for Australians. And so I thought that was pretty cool. But that is all that I have. Let's see, next week we do have another call on Tuesday morning. And do y'all have any more questions for me before we are done? Just make sure you register for convention, y'all. Convention, and then contest coming up, Leaders Retreat contest. So get ready for that, because it will be announced soon, and you want to be ready, okay, for the Leaders Retreat contest. So that's all I have. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. I'll see y'all later. Bye.